What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Welcome back. Today, I have 4 book reviews. 2 of them are independently published and 2 traditionally published. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's see what to start with. Let's start with the indie published books, okay? Okay, so both indie books are from my fellow booktubers. Hey, friends. The first one is from Darnaya and Darice, which I will put their information up on the screen. This is a poetry collection, okay? Y'all know I like poetry. It is called Words of a Shattered Mind, and it was originally published in 2013, but republished, I think 2023. Let me check. 2021. Originally published in 2013, republished in 2021. And what I liked about this is like the central theme is freeing yourself from pain, like shackles, whether self-induced or from the outside world, situations you can't control versus like mental shackles that you did contribute to as well. So I like stuff like that because I feel like it's something that we all can relate to. I feel like everybody has been in a place in life where you've been in some kind of, I don't want to say prison, but some kind of like box that you feel like you can't get out of, or like some kind of trap that you felt like you've been in. And that's kind of what this poetry collection speaks to. It also has some pages at the end where you can like add notes to yourself. It has like some little journaling exercises at the end. And I also love a journaling exercise. So that was cool. I want to point out 2 that are really my favorite. And they actually back to back, so it shouldn't. I got 2 that's my fave. I should have marked this. Okay, here we go. The first one that's my favorite is called Lord Hear Me. And then the next page, also my favorite, is called Taken Back. Both of those, like, I feel like I've had similar conversations like with myself and in prayer with the Lord. And I just feel like it just captured it so well. It almost took me back to that place where I just felt like, you like, I don't know what to say. I don't really like, I know what I feel, but I don't know how to make sense of it. I can't even verbalize it for real. Like, I know something's broken. I'm not sure what it is. I want me back. Like, I want the part of me that's gone back, and I don't really know what to ask for to get it back. I don't know what to pray. I don't know what I'm looking at. I just know it ain't right. And that's kind of what it take me back to, like, when you can't even say anything except you know what I can't even say, like what I don't even know to say. And so, yeah, I like that. I enjoyed it. I liked all of them. They were really good, but those 2 right there, it took me like 2 specific times in my life where I said very similar things in prayer and in like my like Bible study groups and just alone in a closet. That's what that took me back to, especially Lord Hear Me. But yeah, I also like my cry. I do have my cry marked. But yeah, I was excited to see that she had a poetry collection. I'm subscribed to her YouTube channel. We be talking on Instagram and stuff, and she is just so supportive, such a good-hearted person. And when I saw that she had a poetry collection, obviously I wanted to check it out. 1, she's cool. 2, I like poetry, and I wanted to see what it was all about. Thoroughly, thoroughly impressed, and you can just tell it was like raw emotion put into it. You know what I mean? So glad I have this. It definitely like makes you think about healing as a whole, and not just from like a specific trauma, but thinking about how that affects you mentally. So healing mentally, think obviously emotionally, spiritually. I feel like that was a heavy theme throughout it. And some of that stuff, it was physical healing as well. So yeah, I thought it was raw. I thought it was emotional, vulnerable, and I feel like she was speaking to real people. Like, it was probably therapeutic for her to write, I'm assuming, but it could also be therapeutic for somebody experiencing something similar to read and go through as well. So That's book one. The second book, I don't have a physical copy. I've read this on my Kindle. You can also get this on your Kindle. You can get the ebook or whatever place you buy ebooks at. That is Rayna Swan. Also put that up on the screen. Her book is called You Never Know. This is a short story that is a thriller. It's very thrilling, fast paced, page turner. And it's got like this revenge plot. You know, I like that. I like what she had going on with that. Okay, so it's centered around the main character and her mom and her best friend. She's a boxer, her mom is an attorney, and her best friend is just her best friend who made a mistake at some point. You know, she kind of, I'm assuming she wasn't raised in the same way. She had a little rough upbringing, you know, and it's set in California. And it's so I, so like I said, you on the edge of your seat because you want to know what happens. Her mom is an attorney, but the way that it's framed, like it's like, okay, she has a job to do that kind of it it challenges like her ethics and morals, her and her daughter and other people around them. It's like, yeah, you got a job to do, but at what cost? At what cost? You know, like at what cost? More morally, ethically, like what price has to be paid? And there's a price that has to be paid. And then it just makes you think about how everybody is affected in the legal system, how everybody is affected when you think I'm just doing a job and you don't think past that. You know what I mean? It was very much down to earth. It was an accessible read. It's something that I feel like, again, it had enough excitement in it to kind of keep you going. You wanted to solve the thriller, like the mystery that was going on. You also wanted to tell the main character, like, be be a little more not paranoid, but like have a little more situational awareness. Like if you see XYZ, you need to move differently. And she wasn't moving differently enough for me. So you kind of get invested in it like that because you want her to do something else. I did. But that was the point. You know, it kept you going. And yeah, you just think about that like and I don't know if y'all have had jobs like this. I have, where you kind of got to make a decision. Like, if I do my job, will that be in opposition of what I believe morally? Like, will it challenge my personal ethics? And am I okay with that? And the answer is no or yes. Like, and it could be gray. Like, look, this like in the book, this gonna pay for my kid to go to college. So I'm gonna do what I gotta do because it's just me holding down the household. But sometimes, you know, you really just got to look at that and think about what are the greater implications of that. So I enjoyed that book. That's what I got out of it. That's available in ebook format if y'all are interested. Really good books. I just love like my fellow booktube friends. They got books. Well, you know, they publisher, and that's exciting. Okay. And then I read two traditionally published books. One of them I read like a week or two ago, and I forgot to record a video. So I took it back to the library. I'm going to put it up on the screen. That was Madness by Antonia Hylton. This book will infuriate you. It's nothing like the concept is nothing new. We know that there's a devious past in the mental health industry, in the medical industry's history. We know that Black people don't receive the same kind of care, and historically it's been even worse. We understand and we know that. We know there's a disparity. We understand that. But this book, like she used real life accounts, interviews with patients, with neighbors who like live in the surrounding area, and like journals. Just she did a great job doing her research to really show how much of a tragedy this was. The people in this mental health institution, the Black people, the first patients, had to build the institution before they were patients. Like out there doing slave labor to become patients. Same stuff, different day. And it just make me so mad because you think like, dang, they didn't get the care they needed. They So many people didn't and still don't have access to like proper mental health care. And you just like, well written. It was well written, but it will make you mad because I still just, it's just like, bro, y'all ain't right. It was new. Earlier this year I read a lot of books about the like the medical industry's history, a lot of books about mental health and how it's treated specifically in America, but also a little bit in Europe. But this was, it just made me so mad. And then you think there are real life consequences. Like these people had to figure out how to live life, and people suffered at the hands of what? Like unchecked power, racism, oppression, like same stuff, money. Yeah, so it was a good but well written. But I needed to be in the right headspace to read it. It's heavy, but I mean, I know you can tell just by the title. But yeah, good book, well researched, like very well researched to read it. Last book, The Dragon Wakes with Thunder by KX Song. This is the second book in the duology. I think it's a Dragon Spirit duology. And I reviewed The Night Ends with Fire before, and I really liked it. If y'all remember, if y'all have been here for a little minute, it's a reimagining of Mulan. And this is book two. It's just a continuation of that. And I was very excited when this came out because I really liked book number one. I didn't like this book as much. It wasn't bad. It didn't hit like book one. It just wasn't as good. It wasn't as polished to me. This book, the main character, her name is Mylan, and Mylan, yeah, Mylan, and she seemed like a totally different character in this book. Like she seemed more passive, not in like she seemed more passive in her decision making, but also like she let ambition and greed literally drive her to full blown like a sort of addiction. It was very akin to like substance abuse and substance addiction. And it was just, I just felt like it was like I didn't get the same characters. It wasn't like a continuous evolution of the main character or the other two MMCs. It was like a total switch. And then the other two, like Sky and Lay, they were in a love triangle that I also didn't like. They were like totally different too, but like for the sake of just to further the plot and not in a way that it fully wasn't like cohesive to me. It was just like she was doing it for the sake of the plot. And that was just so obvious to me that it kind of like it annoyed me a little bit because I feel like Sky was like this sacrificial character just for the sake of like where she wanted the story to go, but it just didn't seem like a natural progression to me. Anyways, I still enjoyed it, just not as much. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't as good. And sometimes when book number one is good, it's kind of hard to like meet that, and it's really hard to top it, I think. And it just didn't meet it for me. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I still finished it. I still was invested enough to see where the story went. Did I like the ending? I liked the ending. I didn't love it. There was enough closure there. I liked where the story went. I just feel like it just didn't have that heavy like boom, like book one. But that's kind of hard to do, I think, back to back. So for what it was good. If there's a third book coming out, I don't know if there is, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like I'll be fine just reading book one and two. It's not something where I'm like, yes, I want more of this. I feel pretty content with where I got in the first two books. So yeah, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't like, it's not like, oh wow, this just did everything I wanted to do. A little disjointed, a little like bait and switch, I think. But you know, it's so pretty. These books are so pretty. But yeah, that's book 4. Let me know if y'all read that. It's a fantasy. Again, it's a retelling of Mulan. So you have like that subplot of romance. The subplot became a little more front and center. What else? Again, themes of addiction, greed, ambition. And it was like a central theme of how destructive ambition and greed can be, and how you can't trust, like, no matter who you are, there are certain positions and certain things that you might like endeavor on that you just can't trust. You just can't, just because of like the nature of the beast itself. So like if you in a certain position like king of the court, you know what I mean, there's, because of the role itself, you can't fully escape what it would do to you. That level of power, and that like it starts feeding you. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like a vicious cycle. And I guess it's a cautionary tale to not go that far and to be able to watch yourself. But yeah, that's and don't always think you the one exemption. Like everybody else like will fail, not fail, but everybody else will go down this road. But me, just based on doing absolutely nothing at all, I won't. Like if you don't have a reason that you set apart, don't just jump in thinking doing absolutely nothing that you just gonna like be so different. But anyways, that's it, y'all. 2 indie books. Hey, book 2 friends once again, and then 2 traditionally published books. But yeah, y'all, that's it. Let me know if you want to read any of these, if you have read any of these. I know I was having conversations on Instagram with people about the book Madness, and quite a bit of people have read that. So it's good to kind of talk back and forth about that. If that's something that you read, let me know, or want to read, let me know. And I'm going to see y'all on the next one.